During the launch of the Rippaverse, you heard me discuss many times, like, that these guys can be competed with. And I want to kind of update you guys on some of that. I covered not too long ago ICV2 reporting some of the numbers. And hell, the top selling graphic novel according to stores and going to stores was only 20,000. That was the number one one, was 20,000. Like I said, I sold 60,000 books worth on iSong. Like the American market is not as, like, I guess we got complacent because you look at, definitely in the comic book and graphic novel space, that the major players are always going to be the major players. I think what people misunderstand or overstate is how many numbers the major players are moving. Now, never mind, we don't got accurate comic book numbers right now, like actual comic books, not like graphic novels, but the actual comic books that are being, for the most part, sold by comic book shops, because the distributors, Lunar, Penguin Random House, and Diamond, none of those guys are reporting their numbers. It's almost like probably, I don't know, maybe it's because they ain't doing as good, but they're not reporting those numbers, so we don't actually got those anyway. So, and even when we got those numbers, this was the point that I wanted to make, they were just going directly to the stores. So you weren't getting numbers of like actual customers. You were getting numbers that the retailers purchased from Diamond or the distributor, right? Whereas to these MPD book scans, the most accurate that you're going to get, you get these participating bookstores, major chains, all of that, and they're going based on the sales of those, point of sales of those. And like I said, with the number I gave you with like 20,000, we in the top one, I think you can end up in the top 20 if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can actually pull this up real quick. Let me see if I can get those actual sales numbers real quick. Yeah, I can get them. Let me pull them up real quick. But I want to go on the, like, let's say the lower half of the top 20, and I want to see what those numbers are. Let me get logged in real quick, and it will really highlight just how, yeah. So like Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1, remember this whole list is dominated, like the adult graphic novels are dominated by manga. Jujutsu Kaisen is the number 21, and it's only 6,841. Now, yeah, there may be sales outside of that because it's only 85, not only 85%. That's a big, that the book scans consider of those stores. So that's the vast majority of the sales. So even if we were generous and we like added a couple of more thousand that sales that are unaccounted for, it's still not that much. Again, you have a guy right here that showed you an example of them being, let's say, competed with. So to me, it's a great time. Yeah, sometimes the American industry, it looks bad, but I look at it like an advantage, man. And it's going to be very difficult to get like normies to understand that. Like for a normie to understand that, hey guys, I know they're around a lot. Not normies. No, it's not the proper, like guys that maybe keep up with the comic book industry, but don't do a whole lot of research to say that. So not normies, but they think that just because they see something, it's legitimate. And the markets have changed now with the whole digital and internet era that we're in. So just because this company's always getting covered, just because this is the one that you see in stores all the time, does not necessarily mean that they're the ones pushing, like the money's moving like that. Like, yeah, it's a safe bet for sure. But man, the American comic book industry is up for grabs right now. With their own decline, that leaves guys like myself and other people that aspire to be great. That puts you in a position that makes this a very realistic thing to where you could come in and you can be a top dog. And whether they acknowledge it or like you or not is irrelevant, because like with the Rippaverse, whether you like us or not, whether they think we're not legitimate because, hey, this company isn't covering you like that, and you don't get the retweets and the codes, so who cares? We get the sales. So my sales are like, you can have all the accolades and the awards and stuff. I don't give a crap about that. That's not even important to me. You see what I'm saying? It's up for grabs. So it's not as out of reach. I guess it's the point that I want to make. It's not as out of reach as a lot of y'all pretend that it is. It's very well within the reach for people that aren't tied to the big dogs, major American publishers, to get in the American comic book and graphic novel market, which they're both tied together, and actually be competitive to people that have, and competitive with people that have far more resources than you do. So go create. If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com. This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultramax, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically even with Rippaverse orders, and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.